Go in game. Let's go and introduce our players in game number 1 of this best of 5 series. We kick it off on Galactic Process for the PVZ. That's the top right hand side. Our red Protoss player is Strange. Protoss have not been doing too well so far in the Wardi Open. 3 Protoss have played so far, and 3 have... No, was it 3 have played or 2? I think 2 Protoss have played, and 2 Protoss have so far lost. Soke went out in last place in Group A, and Fia went out in last place in Group B yesterday. And, well, let's see if Strange can change that up. Let's see if he can be our first Protoss into the quarter-finals. We have 2 more Protoss players tomorrow as well, DNS and Hellraiser. Not tomorrow, on Tuesday. It's really confusing me that we took a day's gap, although it does work out nicely because I believe on Tuesday there's less clashes. Anyways, yes, Tuesday is Group D, and that is actually Violet, Raynor, DNS, and Hellraiser. Should be fun. Damn, Wardi back at it again with the stream, says Antoine Rosinol. Thank you very much for tuning in. You're back at it watching again, so welcome back. Guys, let's jump to the bottom left side. Let's introduce from Euronics Gaming, our blue Zerg player. It is Nerchio here on Galactic Process. Looking to see how this series is going to kick off. Best of 5, and so a lot of room for the Protoss to throw a lot of different things in Nerchio's, towards Nerchio as time goes by here, you know. Things such as, he can throw anything, like really. He can throw, all-ins, 2 base attacks, 3 base timings. He can just macro it up. He can do so much here, so it'll be interesting to see how Strange changes up. We'll see what kind of different compositions Nerchio pulls out as well. We'll see if he's going to be on that kind of Ling, Ravager, Baneling hype we saw so much of yesterday, and a little bit of today in the ZvPs and Go for SE2 from Snoot. We'll see if he just wants to play. I mean, we'll just see what he wants to play, really. I feel as though ZvP for me is one of the more interesting matchups right now as to kind of different build orders, different compositions. Do we see Banelings or Roach Space? Do we see Lurkers coming into the play at all? What happens in the late game? That sort of stuff. So, let's see what happens here as we set up into game number 1. Just going to be seeing this Overlord just moving in towards the upper right-hand side. So, Nerchio moving in towards the upper right with this Overlord. Have a look to see what's going. And that Cybercore is just going to be finishing up for Strange here. War Brigade starts, Stalker begins as well. Very standard setup from both players early on in Galactic Process. This is probably one of the maps where you'd probably expect Strange to, rather than 2 base all in, do something along the lines of kind of taking a third hat Nexus and just going from there, because on this map, there's obviously kind of these rocks which help you to protect the third base. It just feels like one of the easier maps to take a third base on. It's just, it's one of those maps where, again, I don't think it's actually very easy to attack on either with all the ramps and the chokes. Sometimes the Protoss like that, but I think it definitely benefits them more later in the game than in the earlier stages. So let's see what Strange gets up to, though. I mean, again, anything is a possibility here, as we're going to see this Stalker coming over, and he is actually going to find an Overlord. Ooh, he doesn't actually miss that Overlord, so Nerchio, I mean, I don't think he would have killed the Overlord anyway. We're just kind of more so looking for Zerglings here, so that's alright. Overlord going to escape for now and going to pull the Stalker back up here and just see what he can spot. Just make sure those rocks aren't being targeted down by a couple of Lings super early during this game. So them 2 gateways coming up at the front from Strange. We are yet to see any tech from him actually, so just going straight up to 3 gates out from no tech. Very suggestive that he wants to be quite aggressive here early on actually, that he wants to maybe move across the map with a bit of a gateway force and just sort of pressure with that. Maybe a couple of force fields on the ramps to kind of be annoying with some sentries. Let's just kind of trade efficiently from that. We're going to see the Stalker coming over here to protect from those Zerglings. Currently working their way through the rocks. And okay, well there we go. We see what Strange is heading towards. Double Stargate coming down. This build is making a bit of a resurgence lately in the PVZ. Obviously it was a very popular way to open way back in the start of Legacy of the Void. And it is taking, again, making a bit of a resurgence right now once more, where we've seen it a lot lately. So intrigued to see how this is going to turn out, as we're most likely, Nerchio sees this very early. So we'll see Phoenix coming out of this, and the idea being the Phoenix are very good at harassing and trading super efficiently early in the game. And then they kind of, they're still very good late game as well, because during fights they can lift up a lot of units, they can take units, important units out of the equation, and more and more and more. So we'll see how this goes. Overlord sacrificing its life to spot the double Stargate, but that does mean that Nerchio will be well prepared. And look at this, an immediate Neonus network coming down, because he probably expects this to be Phoenix here, but it's actually going to be double Void Ray out of Strange, which is very, dare I say it, very strange, I think. So, going to be seeing the double Void Ray on the way up, halfway done already, and let's see if this is this Nidus network. Let's see what's going to happen, because honestly, I mean, we're going to be seeing kind of like him kind of attacking into double Void Ray. I mean, I guess he will have Queens, right? And so the Queens, they will go up against the Void Rays, and they will be kind of an important factor in this upcoming engagement. Where's Nerchio going to drop the Nidus? To the other side of this wall? It's risky because he's in between a couple of pylons that can be overcharged, of course, so he has to pick his positioning of the Nidus network carefully. He's got an Overseer to the top, so maybe he just goes in towards the main base. Maybe he just goes in towards the main base and drops it off over here. Looks as though that's what he will do. He drops the first one over towards the natural, and again, the next one will be queued up towards the main, it will seem. So, immediately here, this over will going to start going down, and now the Void Rays are revealed. Let's see if seeing those is going to change anything from Nerchio's kind of decision-making here. As you can see, Queens will pop out, they'll start a fight, they'll transfuse that Nidus for a little while here, but the double Void Ray is doing some good damage, and honestly, nice micro back as well for the Void Ray. This is really not going to do anything at all. Next Nidus starts to build, and I'm going to see an overcharge. So just popping down just to help clean this up a little bit faster. 2 Void Rays still alive, and 2 more popping out, and so this starts to look very good indeed for Strange. You're going to see the next Nidus into the main. I mean, there's just no real anti-air here, and that's the problem. 4 Void Rays are going to have the time of their lives against any Queens that pop out, and these Roaches afterwards. You're going to see one of the Void Rays just go down as was low on health, didn't get pulled back there. They're just streaming through as well. I guess the Lings, it might be actually worth even kind of adding on an Oracle or so, just to try and help fight against these Lings to some extent. Obviously, runs out of energy, I just don't know. I mean, the Lings seem as though they'll be the kind of units here to really start doing damage, so let's see how it goes. Maybe just Gateway Weapons will be enough. The Nidus goes down. We see 5 Workers killed. It looks as though it's going to be kind of Strange just being completely fine anyways. A few more Lings towards the front. They're going to get taken down by a Zealot and a Pylon. So, actually a few more Lings streaming in. So Nerchio going to keep on going with this. Another Nidus to the side of the main. Those 4 Voids are still moving around. A few Lings to the third base too. I mean, these Zerglings really are being the MVPs right now. Nerchio not making any more Roaches or anything, just Queens and Zerglings upon realizing that this is going to be Void Ray production coming out from his opponent. More Lings trying to stream into the main base here, but when you stream into the main, Void Rays are already nearby, and one charging up and starting to target down that Nidus Worm as well. And we see Zerglings just splitting away to the natural too, but the Zealots was an Adept here. And you can just see it in Nerchio's supply. He's starting to trail off a little bit because he's just throwing so many units at his opponent, but it's just not going to end up working at all. And this is Strange making a hold, and I feel as though taking advantage in the first game. Hydra Den is on the way up. We'll see a few more Lings trying to get through here. I mean, there's just the Void Rays there at the front, and they shut down all but 3 of those Zerglings, and 3 Zerglings will not be enough to get anything too meaningful done. Maybe 1 worker kill. Nice micro by Strange, just minimizing the damage he takes there, and all those Zerglings sacrificing themselves for nothing. Strange goes across the map, and honestly, I mean, when you've kind of seen your opponent throwing away a lot of Queens into Nidus players, these Void Rays going across have actually quite a bit of potential to maybe actually get something done. You know, all the Queens, if they're not joined up together, you know, pick another 1 or 2 off. It's very harmless, I feel, to kind of go for this attack, because it's unlikely after that from Nerchio there's going to be Hydras already on the map. There's a Hydra Den finished, but there's not going to be kind of a crazy number, and I feel as though Strange is very safe to kind of move across here and see what he's going to be able to do. So these Voiders are going to be coming in towards the main base, and let's see what happens here. The Voids just position themselves, and I mean, they could just kind of go and just die for the hatchery, right? Like, here we go, just going to die for it, and oh my god, it's going to die so quickly. And Nerchio's going to lose his main, so maybe it's going to go down very quick. There's 1 Queen off in the zone, is going to die pretty quick too. A few drones going down. There's the rest of the Queens coming in, and that's when Strange does take his kind of hint that he should be leaving. And he's going to turn around, pick up the Hydra as well. Actually might re-engage here. Going to go forwards, but transfuses there, and again, I think the Queens just do a little bit too much damage for the Void Rays right now. But 5 workers killed, main base killed, and Nerchio, well, he was definitely hurting after his attack didn't work out, but now he's really hurting as we see him pulling some drones towards a gold base. I mean, that might be one way he can try to get back into this, but even still, he's down 13 workers, so even with a bit of a gold base economy, he's not really going to have enough here. You see these Voiders going to be backing off then, and again, I feel as though this was sort of just unfortunate for Nerchio in a lot of ways, because I feel as though he expected double Stargate Phoenix, and I feel as though the last thing he expected was Void Ray production, and obviously Void Ray production suddenly becomes a hard counter to this sort of attack. I mean, you imagine there was 2 Phoenix here, instead of 2 Void Rays when that Nidus first came in. Well, you know, they lift the first couple Queens, but that's it. The Nidus network doesn't go down. I think more Roaches get out, the Roaches stay alive, they do a lot more. And maybe the next 2 Stargate production units are Void Rays then, but that's still so much more damage already done by Nerchio at that point, a lot more momentum gained, and maybe he actually gets enough Queens out then to actually just fight against the Void Rays anyways. So it's all, you know, it's very, very kind of like hard counter here by Strange to already have these Void Rays up. And Nerchio's attempt to just kind of punish double Stargates definitely didn't work out early on. We see carriers on the way. Oh my god, guys, there's something about the Wardi Open. We saw carriers in Group A, we saw carriers in Group B, and we're going to see them again in Group C. What? Every single day we see carriers. Every single day. Strange just adding on the fleet. We can obviously get to 3 Stargates now, and well, Sky Toss is obviously something that's making a bit of a reoccurrence. Although, that being said, we've seen in both PvZ and PvT. I don't know, guys. Just carriers. Maybe carriers are going to be the next big thing. Maybe carriers are going to carry someone to victory at BlizzCon. Plenty of cannons up here. Strange, his composition is basically going to be like, hey, I'm going to build up for a little while, make sure I'm nice and safe while doing so, and when I max out, I'm going to attack across the map, and I just don't feel as though you can get enough up to deal with me. Although, that being said, a few Vipers on the way. Nerchio has not slowed down his own tech route, despite the kind of the trouble he's been in up until now. So he's adding on Vipers, he's got that Hive up, he's got plenty of Hydras here as well, so Hydra, Viper, and Infester. Well, don't count Nerchio out just yet, you never know. Mothership is here, and that's something which Nerchio, well, he actually has fungal growth to fight against, so that's okay. A couple of Interceptors moving forwards, and then returning to their carriers. 3 more carriers about a pop, plus 3 air weapons coming in from Strange as well. Continuing to go into this right now, that plus 3 air weapons going to be starting up here. Void's talking down these rocks to the top side. And these Lingus Hydras, Infestors, Vipers, you can get ready to start moving up this ramp. So here we go, Nerchio going to start moving up the ramp here. And I mean, does he want to move up the ramp? He might not. He might want to just kind of sit down the ramp and stop at 4th base. And now the 4th base is coming into the top side, so he'll have to actually reposition himself to deny the 4th base for too much, you know, if he wants to actually keep on doing that in this game. So it's a little bit all over the place right now. Spores are going to unload and unburrow and start to move forwards as well. And Nerchio just using this kind of creep highway to his advantage. And look how fast them spores go down though as soon as the carriers target onto them. The Void Rays too. There's so much underneath his motion pool, though that is nice. Little abduct fours there. Abduct a couple carriers now too. We're going to see 2 carriers picked off almost straight away, but now the Viper's running out of energy. Is there enough here for Nerchio to keep on fighting? The Interceptor started to do some good damage. The Void's moving forwards as well. The Queen count is lowering. There's no there's no fungal growth available on those Infestors just yet, so they can't add too much right now. As the supplies overall, though, are getting very, very close together from both players, and actually, Hydra's starting to push our Protoss player back. This game is not over just yet. Nerchio is making a pretty decent case for himself here. Those first couple of ducks to initiate the engagement gave him a little bit of a leapfrog start. And that's, well, that's starting to kind of continuing to look good for him right now. As we're going to be seeing 3 more carriers being added on here by Strange. Some more carriers all on the way up. We're going to see these units going to take down those rocks here and come in towards this 12 o'clock base. We're going to be getting rid of this pylon and this next as well. So next is going to go down. So 4th base is denied once more, and Strange is struggling to kind of get much done in this game now. The Sky Toss play is not seemingly finding a way to engage into the Zerg composition. These Hydras and Infestors holding down the front door. Where's the Vipers? They need to come in here. The Vipers are so important again. Abducts. I mean, I don't know how important the parasitic bombs are going to be in this. Be interesting to see what he does spend his Viper energy on, whether it is just abducts, whether it is kind of new parasitic bomb. Unlikely to be able to Blinding Cloud, of course. What's he going to Blinding Cloud? Maybe a cannon or 2 in a very kind of niche situation, depending on where he's attacking in. But I think almost always the other abilities are going to be used more often here. The first Viper actually doesn't have much energy on it at all. Looking for the abduct on what though? What does he hit the abduct on to begin with? As they actually see one of these Vipers goes down to the cannons. A few High Templar would definitely not go amiss right now if you could just get a few feedbacks onto the Vipers. Maybe even to some extent Storm to kind of buffer up this kind of carrier force, although there's the Twilight Council only just now starting, so maybe he's thinking of that just very late here. By the time that that Twilight Council finishes, he builds a Templar Archives and so on and so on. Units still gathering from Nerchio, so units still gathering from Nerchio right now. We're going to see a few extra Spore Crawlers coming down once again. So a few extra Spores coming down here. Ultra's Cavern to the bottom left hand side is starting to build too. And again we just see creep spreading out to the right, spreading up to the top. Carriers continuing to come out here. So more carriers being built. Templar Archives is building as well from Strange, so there we go. He is going to go into the High Templars. And that's what we were sort of talking about just a few moments ago. And he's getting there just slowly. And I mean, I can't believe this game has turned into what it is right now after kind of how we saw the opening go. It wasn't pretty for Nerchio early on. I actually see him now investing into the Ultra Cavern, which will be an interesting choice to kind of power him through on the ground. I guess just a couple of Ultras added in can do quite a lot to kind of clean up the cannons, etc. Attack in towards the bases. Just going to attack into that though. Commit into that there. Chitinous placing. He's continuing with his ground upgrades as well. +1 melee on the way. As well as +2 carapace. Future engines will lead the charge up the ramp as Nerchio just tries to scout out where that army is. See if there's going to be an available abduct here. And look at the creep, guys. Like, the creep is literally all over the map right now. All the way across the top side. And actually strange. I mean, He's going to have a tough time pushing onto this map here. Nerchio now maxed out, beginning to make a bank, ready to reinforce. While Strange is literally just sat here on this army and stuck on 3 bases and unable to move out onto the map. This game started so well from Strange, but now he's really looking to struggle. He's going to have to look to just take one really good fight here when he maxes out and just kind of go for it. I think I don't really see what else he does, because I feel, he has to do something. He has to take a good fight, because otherwise he's not going to be able to get a 4th base. So I guess that's sort of a factor in this. Nerchio, you have a couple of ultras here. It's going to be sat just a little bit further back, holding them back a little bit. Viper's still overhead as creep spreads off to the right hand side, creep up to the top side as well. A couple of cannons nearby from Strange, and you'll see a few more Zerglings from Nerchio just moving around the map, and just to see where they end up. Double Spider now on the way down for some double upgrades. Whether he commits into Corruptors, whether he builds in towards kind of Broodlords, well, that remains to be seen over the next few moments. I was going to be seeing a single probe starting to work his way through some creep spread, just trying to get access to a 4th base. Because now Strange, he's mined out of his main, his natural is gone. His 3rd base is more or less gone as well. Strange's economy is really, really low, and so it really is time for him to push out and to start making something happen. If he doesn't do it soon, it's never going to happen. Observer on the way, and maybe that's just what he's waiting for, some mobile detection to fight this creep spread. You'll see a few hydras to the top side. Well, they're going to start going down pretty quickly, so that's a pretty nice initial trade here. You'll see a few changes getting picked off, and a couple of ultras will go up this ramp. Hydras as well. Here's Nerchio, seeing that army all the way up to kind of the top left side. He's going to start pushing in towards the natural, and even though it's only 3 bases, he's looking for ways to kind of pick his opponent apart. We're going to see the revelation coming in from the Oracle. I'm intrigued to see what that comes into, how that comes into play here. No Tempest, so he doesn't really need much kind of vision. He doesn't really need this revelation. Although it is nice to see where the army is. I guess you can see a position, and here we go. I mean, he starts to attack down this ramp. There's so many Spore Crawlers, guys. So much side defense. That Mothership is going to get abducted, but recalls back once again. Just the same as we saw previously. You're going to see the carriers joining up with it. Some more ultras on the way. This is one of those games which really has just become this very sort of stalematey situation now. We're going to be seeing a few more hydras just collecting together. I mean, more ultras actually being made in the production tab, so obviously wants to get these ultras up these ramps and getting damage done. Going to run straight on in here with these again towards the natural as we see the Protoss army to the top side. I mean, he's just going to get base traded, if anything. Like, he's not even kind of that far away from his 3rd base, and his natural expansion is just, unsavable at this point, really. I mean, more hydras coming up here. I mean, this is one of those situations where basically what happens is that there's a kind of a weird scenario, a weird situation where basically Strange is just like, this army doesn't work well unless it's clumped together, and so his natural is just so under threat as soon as he moves anywhere onto the map. And this really is Nerchio just playing out slowly. I mean, again, the first attack from Nerchio did not work for him, but he's managed to kind of pull this back. He's been able to make it look pretty good so far. A few ultras in the main base, they're going to look to try and kill the pylon and just stop kind of Stargate production, etc. And there's up even further up, and just maybe just drawing these units even further back into the base so that maybe Nerchio can take a chance to kind of go up the ramp and fight some cannons over here. Some corruptor production continue to come in, +1 air weapons and carapace continue to build too. We're just going to be seeing those carriers still moving down. We're going to be seeing them starting to fight onto those queens. A couple of queens going to go down very quickly here. So a couple of queens falling very quickly indeed. And, well, Ultra's going to be under fire from this Void Ray. So Void Ray doing a little bit more damage right now. I'm just going to be seeing, here we go, Hydras, Ultras and more coming up this ramp, continue to trade. And again, as soon as this unit's out of position, it's just Nerchio who's in and looking to see what he can do. Where's the army? It's all the way down this side, so I mean, he's going to try and base trade, but what's he really going to achieve here? Does he have a probe on the map? He's going to have something. A lot of probes currently on this base. They're going to go down in about 2 swipes of an Ultra. Which one gets the kill? 37 kills. That's the Ultra that killed all the probes. 1 probe left over. Where is it? It's up to the top left side. He builds a Nexus up there. I mean, the reality is that there's just no way Nerchio loses a base trade, I think. I mean, Nerchio has so much more money to work with. He's got so many more bases to kill initially. He's still got 54 workers, which is a bit of a benefit as well. Nerchio hasn't quite spotted this Nexus up here yet. It's in a bit of a weird position to scout in. I don't think we've ever actually seen this sort of pathway ever being used in a game. I don't think I have anyways. It's a bit of a weird location. You can see Nerchio starting to scout around, but the last place he thinks of is actually the upper pathway, so that's a little bit of a benefit right now to Strange. He still has 1 probe alive. It's also up here. There's the Ultras, the Hydras, they're looking around to see what's going on. I mean, Nerchio has the majority of the rest of the map, so Maybe he just thinks the game's about to end as he kills these buildings. Obviously, we know that's not the case. It's over here. There's one nexus. It's the one building that remains. One structure. Not even any structures right now because it's still building. Nerchio losing out on his bases right now. Continue to expand around the map here as he just has to find it. I mean, he has to realize at some point that, right? I mean, he has to just sort of think, where can it be? Because it gets to a point where it just can't be anywhere else. Some overlords are moving around. He's so close. He just doesn't realize. This upper pathway is the place. Hydra's moving down here as well. Think it's maybe along this way. Oh man, he's just stopped finding this anywhere. A little bit unfortunate. This probe's kind of not really trapped in, I guess. I guess he's got this way to kind of get out as well. Another nexus build. So 2 nexus to the top left side. I mean, Nerchio has so much static defense. He still has an army to kind of fight with as well. You got to remember that when this engagement happens, that Nerchio can still just engage. Although that's much riskier than just killing off the last 2 nexus, obviously. Hydras, Ultras still moving around. Nerchio still unaware as to where exactly his opponent's base is. Nice few feedbacks there, though, getting rid of a couple of the Vipers. You see Storm coming down too. So there's going to be another base falling here very shortly. Hallucinate Phoenix Strange starts to scout around, see what he's got to fight into, figure out what he's got to get done right now. As we're going to be seeing these Hydras, Ultras, Corruptors, Vipers. Does he find it? Oh, he's still so close. There's literally one place on the map he hasn't checked. It's to this top side. It's to this top side. And he's just so close but so far away. He's just going to pull back. He's just going to pull back. Nerchio here. We're going to move forwards with these few Corruptors, looking to see what he can do. You can see the carriers starting to work their way through that hatchery there. So hatchery working its way against this, and well, one nexus and an army. Corruptors seeing what they can do as they move forwards here. A couple of Vipers will join in to get some abducts off. Now Nerchio probably can't get that nexus because he just can't move into position without facing this Protoss army, and so what he has to do is just kind of abduct away on these carriers, etc., and just slowly pick away at this. Just has to slowly pick away at this here. That's how he wins this game. Goes forward, Void Ray, backs away. 2 Void Rays, backs away. And that's exactly how he wants to fight. Maybe even more passive than that, and kind of fighting with these Spore Crawlers. Coming in again, we're going to see Carry again targeted down, and he backs away. It's again just away from Detroit nicely, and you can see 84 supply to 113. A moment ago it was 192 to 123. Oh my god, there's Ultra Risk! I can't believe it. He's checking everywhere apart from this left-hand path. I think he's finally going to start checking it. You can see these these overlords and stuff are just so confused as to where he should be going. Not just still mine. I mean, this is his game. He's going to find the probe. So he's going to get the probe kill. Does that tell him what he needs to know? I think so. He's going to go up this side now. He's going to try and find this. He's going to find the last nexus, the last building of our Protoss player. And this indeed will be game over. He's still going to kind of fight against this army. He's going to get rid of this nexus here in the near future. And this is going to be Nerchio winning game number 1 of this best of 5 after, well, not yet. Recall home. And this Ultralisk is actually not going to be able to see it anymore because of the mothership. Oh, wow. Alright, okay then. So, Nexus will be protected. The thing is, Nerchio's still building here. No, mining at least. So he's building more hatcheries, etc. What's left over here? Just a couple of Inceptors alongside some Changelings. Gonna recall these High Templar back home? That's an interesting one. Not sure what exactly the point of that was there. I was going to see Nerchio just going to sit back. I mean, again, he'll slowly pick away, but he won't take major fights. I was just going to be seeing these carriers getting into position now. Strange. Looking to see what he can do. So little money, 159, and of course, he's got to be careful because interceptors cost money too. So if he loses his interceptors in a fight, that's also going to cost him quite dramatically here. Carriers coming up to the top side. They're going to be going in towards a high ground position. Corruptors and Vipers have to see what they can do. This Nexus now unprotected once again upon seeing this. Here we see that Ultra moving back into location. Nice little abduct forwards there. Carrier goes down. And just seeing what he can do. Another couple carriers abducted forwards. And again, a couple of swords in the high ground. That's going to be Nerchio losing a lot of his drones. All of a sudden, Nerchio only has 3 workers remaining, but he does have money still, so he can rebuild because he does have hatcheries as well. And we're seeing here Corruptors going forwards. Big storm connection. 60 army supplies to 107 now. It's definitely still been much better trades in the end for Nerchio's. Now we're going to see the Mothership Core goes down. And he's going to GG out of the game. Nerchio will take game number 1 forwards. As we jump in right now to game number 2. To the bottom right-hand side, we're going to have our blue Protoss player from Cray Squad. It is Strange. And to the top right, we're going to be having the red Zerg player from Euronics Gaming. Let's see if you're cheering on Nerchio. Alright, so as we set up into game number 2 of this, Nerchio played that one out safely. Probably could have, even when he saw the Nexus, just suicided Hydras into it. Just wanted to play it safely though. I think he realized that if he just slowly picked away at the Protoss army, there's no way he loses. Whereas if his Hydras are all out of position, well, maybe, just maybe, it can happen. So you head into game number 2 again. Strange was so far ahead, but Nerchio played well. I actually sort of just said that Strange had taken game number 1. I was ready to call it because I just really thought he was that far ahead. I really believed it. Anyways, let's see what happens in game 2. Let's see if Strange can take another lead and maybe this time close it out. And see if Nerchio is just going to put himself in a 2-0 lead right now. So, just setting up into this, and we'll see in Vertical Spawn and Frost what these players want to get up to. Nerchio and Strange. I mean, it's a good map to kick 3 bases on again. It's a good map to be aggressive on too. Maybe see a Twilight Council opening from Strange this time around. Maybe a Twilight Council coming down, some Resonating Glaives, some Adepts early in the game. I mean, I know Strange is a big lover of his Adepts, so I wouldn't be surprised to see that kind of coming in. Wouldn't be surprised to see that coming in. Hi Wardi, hello old Jimmy, how are you doing? Again, what's up guys? Do let me know who you're supporting today in the chat. Don't forget, after this series we have the winners match. That will be the winner of this taking on Marine Lord. The loser of this series goes to the loser's match against Guru. And we kind of continue on from there. So it's a nice full evening of games. Best of 5s all the way. Which is what I think you guys seem to love so much. The best of 5s. Something which is going down a treat. So yeah, what's going on overall? Just over here from Nerchio, just going to move over to the right hand side. We're going to be seeing a couple of queens on the way up right now as well. A couple of queens on the way up. I mean, nothing really too strange at the start. And there is the Twilight Council, so big change up for Strange on this map. Not really a map you can really go Sky Toss on. Sky Toss sort of works on New Gettysburg. We see it a little bit as well when kind of the Protoss takes the third base as their island. You see a bit of Sky Toss then quite frequently lately, I guess. Galactic Protoss is probably one of the better maps apart from New Gettysburg then, just because again we talked about the safety of the 3 bases. Not really kind of, you know, you can't really do quite the same here. Frost is a little bit, not easy, but still a little bit easier than Galactic to kind of attack into 3 bases on. A bit more spread out, etc. So, anyways, let's see how it turns out. Let's see what happens here. Strange with his first Adept will be moving in. He's got Resonating Glaives starting to build, so Resonating Glaives is beginning to come up right now. So Glaives on the way. First Adept actually going to commit into the mineral line, and they'll pick up 1 drone to begin with, and we'll actually have to see Nerchio pulling the rest of his drones forward here just to try and fight against this. 2 workers killed. There's going to be a 3rd one right now as well, as his first Adept is, actually going to be missing out on that 3rd worker kill. And actually cancels his Shade, so just going to try and stick around in the main base for a few more moments. As those Zerglings run up here, Nerchio going to surround, kills off the Adept, and that will be that for now. Probe going to be moving around the map. Was initially kind of watching out towards the 3rd hatchery, so wasn't initially off towards watching the 3rd hatchery. Now he's just going to pull back home. Going to keep it up here, looks as though he wants to take his 3rd Nexus maybe sometime soon. Going to go for the Robo Facility, which is maybe indicative of actually more Adept pressure, you know, kind of keep on opening on the other side instead of just kind of the initial Adepts walking across, and that is that. So you're going to see this Robo Facility starting to build up here. We'll be completing very soon. Rotoran is on the way. Lair is halfway done. A couple of extra gateways are going to be finishing up right now. So a couple extra gateways do finish, and some Zerglings starting up from Nerchio as well. He's getting ready to deal with this incoming attack as Rotoran just finished up as well. And he's also actually got quite a fast lair here. Intrigued to see what that is for. Obviously, a fast lair usually indicates a fast Hydraless Den, and that's usually, if you go for a fast Hydra Den, it's usually to kind of go in towards Lurkers super quickly, rather than anything else. We're going to see the probe still over here just get pulled back, as Strange decides to take his 3rd base down to the south side instead. Here we go, first 5 Adepts, first 6 Adepts going to start moving towards the north to look to see what they can get up to. So 6 Adepts going up top, they're going to be moving their way up here as we see those Zerglings going to run on by in towards the 3rd base. Already we're going to see 1 pylon under fire, and it's going to be killed off before it's ready. Actually gets cancelled, so 3rd base in a lot of pressure. Obviously, Nerchio with these lings across here, though, is, well, is going to be kind of out of position maybe to kind of defend these Adepts. A few Roaches moving forwards, but as the Shade comes in, he will lose the Queen, and Adepts will shade in towards the main base as well. So actually, Nerchio taking some damage too. He has cancelled the third hatch, which is nice. Cancelled the third Nexus, that's good. But he needs to make sure he kind of minimizes the damage he takes now to these Adepts as we see them coming in over here. Another Warp is still there, actually warping in a few more Adepts. The Adepts now getting caught though by those Zerglings, and actually Nerchio killing off so much says, well, you know what? Time for me to counterattack. Off across the map he goes. So counterattack coming in here from Nerchio now. We're going to see this Dark Shrine starting up from Strange. So Strange going to set up the Dark Shrine. We're going to see a couple of drones getting killed off. These Adepts come in towards the Natural. We're going to see this Queen just coming in, trying to target down the Warpism, but Queen will go down. Warping mode gets set by the Warpism. The Adepts go back towards the third base. Ling's coming in as well. The thing is, if Nerchio doesn't set up Dark Shrine soon and this Warpism stays alive, it'll be very, very detrimental if DT start to warp in his bases. However, Warpism does fall, gets targeted down here, and that might cost him when he tries to go into his DT play. I mean, he's not fully committed to just DTs, though he's kind of transitioning as well, though that being said, 4 gates on the way up. Starts to blink, he's got Mortals coming out. I wonder if Strange just says let's 2 baseless and just try and do damage with DTs while my blink finishes up, and then I'm just going to go with absolutely everything. Maybe that's his game plan right here. As we're going to be seeing drones from Nerchio just going to be coming across in towards that third base. So some drones just going to be coming across into here. Going to start mining, and just going to be seeing a few sentries, an Immortal, and this Adept moving forwards a little bit as well. So a couple of Stalkers coming in too from Strange, and again looking to see what's going on, what's happening. I'm just going to be seeing a few extra Roaches, a couple of melee upgrades, and the Warpism on the way out. So very standard stuff right now, as we're going to be seeing everything starting to join up together from Strange, but it's just the fact that he doesn't have a third base, which is very weird. He's going to try and move towards it, so it looks like he just wants to take it very late. And Nerchio's going to come in here, and I think he's going to come straight in, and he just wants to go for the probe kill, I think. Probably a safer way to kind of do it. Force the probe back, and I'll just buy him just a few extra seconds now. We're going to see Lings coming in again. Probe again is able to, or unable to get the thread down. Now he finally gets it going. A few DTs in the Natural. They're going to load into the Warpism. Nerchio still without really kind of any DT defense. Does he have an Overseer morphed in yet? He does have a couple. He's got one over the third and one towards the Natural, so he's got a pretty good idea of what's going on there naturally. He's seen the Dark Shrine, if not before, then definitely now. So he'll just move his units in position, and Overseers will spread. And he'll make sure that he's going to be able to shut the DTs down without any issue at all. So 2 DTs still in the Warpism, kind of moving around here. The first DT, which dropped out, is actually moving around the top side, and is going to be heading towards the third base. But again, Overseer overhead over here. Roach is in position, and the Dark Templar player is just not looking to do much at all. Actually, a Ravager morphs in, a few Ravagers morph in, which means there's not as much Roach firepower immediately as there maybe would have been. You're going to see that DT goes down anyways, though. Warpism still with the other 2 Dark Templar unable to do anything. And Strange, well, he's lost his third base. He didn't really get any counter damage done. His Dark Templar commitment hasn't done anything either. And now Nerchio is in a very good position as we're going to see this Warpism back in towards the Natural. Nerchio turns to actually fight this here. So turns to fight, goes to try and clean this up. Let's force it away, and again, maybe looking to go across the map here in a few moments' time. He's got melee upgrades finished, he's got road speed. Maybe just goes and attacks, goes into the third base, and I mean, he's doubled the army supply and more of his opponents, so let's see if this can work out for him. Plenty of Ravagers as well. And Corrosive Bar is going to be very annoying to kind of play against for the Protoss players. We see Lings, Ravagers, Roaches. Here we go, moving on in towards the third. Nerchio is going to come in here already, kind of a lot of probes starting to go down. See a couple of Corrosive Bars going up into the skies, and we'll see what's happening. A few Lings from the backside going to try and surround a little bit here as Corrosive Bars will pop those force fields, though. Look at that preemptive Corrosive Bar on the potential force field, and it catches it perfectly. And Strange just doesn't have anything just yet to really fight this, and you can just see his army is disappearing very quickly indeed. Nerchio takes a moment to clean up the pylon, which is doing some damage. Oh wow, DTs actually might be the savior for now. Nerchio without an Overseer in position is going to lose a little bit of momentum there, so Strange is going to block him away, and well, DT is going to keep on swiping, although not for long. The Overseer is going to come in overhead. DTs go down, and now Nerchio could continue his attack forward. There's a momentary setback as Nerchio will continue to fight forwards here. A few more Stalkers trying to get into the base, but I mean, Nerchio is just going to keep on pushing for himself. He's just going to be able to clean up everything here, and he's going to take game number 2 very convincingly. And that's GG from Strange. Nerchio takes game 2. Wasn't Temple for him to try and move into that winner's match against Marine Lord with. So down to the bottom right, can he find a way to secure himself and fight back in this series. Our red Brawlers player is Strange. To the top left-hand side, our blue Zerg player from Euronics Gaming, it is Nerchio. I'd like to just say, guys, that if you do enjoy the Wardi Open, you can, of course, support the tournament and support the players by doing so by heading over to the Match Arena page. We don't have any coupon codes left, but if you do want to throw a few dollars of your own into the prize pool, it does go into the prize pool, it does go to the players. I don't claim any of it for myself or anything, and so it's a great way to support the tournament, and obviously it'll attract, the more we raise this time, the more likely we are to kind of be able to say to sponsors and stuff, hey, look how much we raised, or players will see, hey, last time this was really successful. Let's, sign up this time. Maybe we get better players and stuff like that. So, if you can spare a few dollars, obviously it's greatly appreciated to support the prize pool. If you'd rather not support the prize pool for whatever reason, but would rather support the stream, then of course there's options for that as well. They're listed below the stream, and there's a lot of different ways you can support. For now, let's focus on the game though as we go into a hatch gas pool opening from our Protoss player, from our Zerg player, from Nerchio. So he's going into hatch gas pool. And we're just going to be seeing Strange starting to scout across the map. And looking to see what's going on here with this probe. Yeah, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. It's crazy how many viewers we have. Like, again, I've been saying this the last few days, but let's just do it again. Like, so in the qualifier number 1, we got like 400 viewers. I was like, wow, that was great. That's sort of a little bit above what I was expecting. Q2 was a disaster. Let's not talk about that from my own fault. Q3 was like, wow, 600, 700 viewers. This was good as well. Q4, we get like 1,300 viewers. It's like, wow. Well, that's more than I was expecting to get for like any stage of this tournament. So that's really sick. What a great day. Thought it was a one-off. Then Group A of the competition, we peaked at like 1.7k, 1.8k viewers. Group B, yesterday, we peaked at just over 2k. And today, we've already peaked at 2,300 viewers, and we're only in our second series. So thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Really appreciate all the support for this event. And for the stream as well, of course. And, of course, looking to just keep on bringing you guys more content in the future. It's going to be a busy week. I don't have a day off for... I actually don't even know when my next day off is. Like, I'm looking at the... at my schedule, and I just don't have a day off for forever. Like, it's crazy. Maybe, like, Saturday the 17th of September is my next day off. Next day without a stream, so... Plenty of StarCraft action coming for you on the channel. So, again, even if you can't afford to support, subscribe, whatever, then, you can, of course... hit the follow button just to see when we go live in the future, and come back and join us for more of that StarCraft content, which I've just been talking about. If you want a bit of a teaser as to what's going to be happening over the next week, well, it's going to be a lot of Leifeng Cup action, Leifeng Cup qualifier tomorrow, and then groups on Tuesday and Wednesday. We're going to have Wardi Open Group D on Wednesday. We're going to have some WESG qualifiers on Monday and Friday. We'll cover Go for SC2 Thursdays on the Thursday, and Saturday and Sunday we're going to be running or casting a couple of online cups again. Tour Open on Saturday, and Go for SC2 on the Sunday. There's a couple of depths here, just continue to move around. We see a Rotron on the way up from Nerchio. As we get back into this game, we see him third hatch about to finish, Rotron on the way down. Fast Lair coming up again. Last time we just saw the Lair coming in to be played out with a kind of Roach speed. That was after he kind of defended and done so much damage, so maybe that was a bit different to his initial plan. This time, well, we are once again going to see a Resonant Glaives open, and this time the Robot Facility, though. So it's going to be a nice fast third, the depths to sort of defend. And we'll sort of go from here. So, Depth's just going to sit over here, and Fuse Zergun's just going to be moving forwards. Not going to have enough numbers, though, to actually work the way through this. The Pylon's going to go up, and this will help to protect the third base this time around. So, Strange fixing his mistakes from game number 2, which we saw becoming quite apparent there. And Nerchio just really kind of abusing, just coming in and just saying, like, yeah, okay, cool. Sort this out, fix this up. And stuff like that. Anyways, so, we're going to be seeing Lingers collecting together. Nerchio towards the top left side is getting ready to defend. We see a few Adepts going to start shading forwards. The Lingers going to run in, and they are going to surround. And, well, not too many Lingers initially, actually. So the Adepts, they take some damage, but they're not going to fall just yet. As we're going to be seeing the Adepts, just going to be, well, actually pretty healthy here still after the damage they've already done. So, it's a pretty good attack so far, and he's actually going to commit on the third base for a little while longer. I was just going to be seeing this Queen getting targeted down. He will lose another Adept here now, though. But again, good trade for a Queen. One Adept for a Queen is definitely worthwhile. And again, a few more Adepts going to shade on through. And actually just cancel their shade there as, again, Adepts join up together. Actually, more Adepts coming from across the map. Maybe starting to overcommit here a little bit because we do see these Adepts starting to fall. And so, Nerchio starting to clean this up, and maybe Strange would have been better not to commit these across. He will be able to shoot them into the main, but Nerchio's already positioned with his Zerglings and built around it, and this time only 3 Adepts will not clean up these Zerglings fast enough. So Nerchio cleans up. A few more Lings on the way, a couple of Ravagers morphing. Looks as though he'll go for a little bit of counter pressure here, see what he can get done. We actually see a couple of gateways coming in at the top of this ramp, so a couple of gateways coming in at the top of this ramp, and just going to be seeing maybe a couple of vials coming down to bring it. I mean, it's interesting because I feel as though it's just to wall off, you know. He's not really kind of intending to use these gateways. He just wants to wall off and just slow this attack of his opponent down. Doesn't believe in the pylon defense which he has available to him here. Forces one overcharge, we're going to see now, just backs away and starts to work on these on the gateway again. A few Lings coming from the left-hand side, forcing another overcharge, but he's already out of there before the overcharge gets a shot off. And so Nerchio really just kind of playing Strange around right now. We have seen a Dark Shrine come in as a follow-up to this. So these 2 DTs are going to be coming in towards the upper left-hand side, and they're going to be having a look to see what they can get up to. So a couple of DTs going in towards the natural mineral line, going to start swiping away on some of these drones. And again, Nerchio, well, he actually does have a lair, so he's going to be able to morph in an Overseer. He's taking a lot more damage than he should be, and it's definitely going to be a nice little way for Strange to start making a bit of a return in this game from a game which he was... Well, again, I kind of started off well for him, and then I guess he didn't really take much damage. He lost a lot of Adepts, but I guess he's okay, really. So, pretty even game from either player right now. As we're going to be seeing these units just gathering together from Nerchio, and just going to be sort of joining up and seeing what's happening. So units just going to join up together over here on the third base. 11 drones got killed in that attack, though, and that's definitely enough to sort of just pull Strange back into this just a little bit right now. So that's pretty nice. You can see some more drones added on again. Forge on the way up in the main base. Charge starting to upgrade right now as well. So one more stuff just coming in. Hydra's then going to get dropped down too by Nerchio. So Hydra then coming in towards the main base. And yeah, just going to be seeing a few more Zealots warping in. Forge, yada yada yada. Blah blah blah. You guys get the point. We sort of know what's going on. Pretty standard stuff. Look at this though. +1 melee and +1 missiles out of Nerchio. Interesting. Are we going to see like Ling Lurker? Or Ling Hydra? Or Ling Bane Hydra? A few different possibilities here with this set of upgrades that Nerchio begins to head into. Hydra Den about to finish, so we'll see if he goes into Hydras or just straight for that Lurker Den. I feel as though for a couple games now he's been trying to just get in towards the fast Lurker Den, but he's just been unable to with the way the game's sort of been playing. So let's go Overman, so it's just going to be fast Hydras, so maybe that's what he wanted to go for all along here. So some kind of Ling Hydra play going to be coming in as a DT swiping or something, I'm not sure what. Either way, Nerchio just sat back at home looking pretty solid right now. Temple Archives is about to finish up here from Strange. You'll see that charge upgrade coming in as well. A robot facility, second robot facility being added on. And again, this Immortal just about to pop out too. Is this Immortal going to get out of here? Looks as though it's going to be trapped. And unable to escape. Maybe he has to go the long way around. Let's see. Okay, he's going to go the long way around. It looks as though he's going to be trapped, man. I was about to be like, feels bad, man, Immortal. Okay, he is able to get out. So Immortal going to join the fray. As we see another Robo added on. Do we see a Robo Bay? No, it's just going to be double Immortal production for now. Charge upgrade has come in. So very standard like Charge on Arc on Immortal. This composition making a bit of a comeback in the ZvP PvZ series. I've seen it a few times a day. It's kind of not the be-all and end-all of the matchup anymore. I mean, for a long time it was the be-all and end-all. More recently we've been seeing kind of Blinkstalker, Sentry, Immortal forces have been popular again. But again, definitely seeing some more of this Charge Lots kind of playstyle more recently. It's going to be interesting. Nerchio's actually attacking down this right side of the map and is going to run straight into DT, sees the army as well. A little bit of a Ling run by will hit the third base. Overcharge is nearby, so you can just overcharge and stop the Zerglings from doing too much here. Cannon goes down. Nerchio will just back away into, well, it's the location where it's an overcharge currently. And actually pick away at one of these pylons, so that pylon will go down. Which pylon does the overcharge? Should be this one to the left, right? Overcharge is here, and Nerchio still finds a little bit of a gap where he can hide in. As the overcharges dissipate, he'll be able to get out of there with just a handful of Zerglings left over. Still more units gathering together from Nerchio, and Lurker Den now on the way up as well. It's about halfway done. Does he take a fight before then? Because he is pushing himself out into an aggressive position if he keeps moving forwards in this sort of direction. Stalker's going to get rid of the Overlord, so Overlord going to go down, and he's going to be seeing the Lings, Roaches, and Hydras starting to work their way against these rocks. A few Zealots starting to charge in, and again, here we go, Nerchio pushing forwards here. Archon's going to start taking some damage. We're just going to be seeing, again, quite a lot being done right now. One Archon dead. We're going to see another Archon going down as well. More Zealots falling here. See more and more can keep on charging in, but there's so many Hydras left over. It's a bit of an interesting fight because Nerchio has a lot of Hydras and a lot of DPS left, but does he have enough to tank for those Hydras? I feel as though he does, especially with more Lings reinforcing now. It looks as though he's going to start pushing this back, and he looks as though He's actually trading pretty well here in the very end. The Lings are going to surround and stop one more Immortal from getting away. And Nerchio definitely wins this fight. And look at the follow-up. 8 Lurkers morph in. And when he pulls these across the map aggressively, this is going to be very difficult for Strange to stop. Just going to be seeing these units continue to come in. A few more Lurkers just building up here as Nerchio will get ready to attack in towards the 4th base of his opponent. A few Lings going to run by, distract the army. Also the same on the left-hand side. And get rid of this pylon pretty quickly as well. He does find his way through there. So all this going on as he gets set up into position on the 4th base. Lurkers will burrow in a concave. And the Lurker shots do begin. Zealots charging on in. They get disintegrated basically. The Lurker spikes just way too good. And Nerchio will just probably edge himself forwards here with these Lurkers. Just slowly push further into the 4th base. In fact, doesn't even need to. 4th base evacuated by our pros player. And the Nexus is going to blow right on up. As you're going to see these Hydras coming down here. And I mean, Nerchio just keeps going with the momentum he's already established. Really seeing the Hydras starting to fight, doing a little bit of damage here. Archon's taking quite a lot of damage too. Another Archon falling. As Hydras keep on trading as well. And, well, actually, the Hydra's taking a lot of damage here. It's the Lurkers that really still holding the back lines and really just helping out. And we're going to be seeing the Lurkers just, again, just sat there and sat and waiting. Units from Strange going to move up through the center of the map now, so going to move up through the center and again look to see what else he can get up to. So through the center of the map he goes. Hydras and Lurkers will come towards the northern side and again see what they can get up to as well. A few Zerglings will go to the left side from Nerchio and again just loop around. I mean, he's so good at always being able to find ways to counterattack. And look at this base right now, long distance mining. Well, that's just a prime target for a whole group of Zerglings, which are hungry for some pro blood. And I see the main army from Nerchio, maybe a little bit out of position actually, as we see this army pushing in towards his third base. Comes in now, the Lurkers burrow. The Zergling's going to actually back away from this position, doesn't kill anything at all down there. Realizing he just needs to bring everything back home just to defend, and realizing how aggressive his opponent is being. See the Lurkers burrowing once again. The Hydra's coming in from a couple of different angles. Here come the Zerglings as well, just to do a little bit of extra tanking. And I think it's becoming pretty apparent pretty quickly that there just isn't going to be enough here at all from Strange, as we're just going to be seeing the Immortals going to get caught on their own at the very end of this fight. And that's going to be GG. Nerchio is going to take game number 3. And it's a clean 3-0 for Nerchio.